Wait! The Master Sword is here! Hurry up! I'm using my power to hold the evil king. Use your sword and deliver the final blow. Six stages, now!
Ancient creators of Hyrule. Now, open the sealed door and send the evil incarnation of darkness into the void of the evil realm. You! Curse you, Zelda! Curse you, sages! Curse you, Link. Someday, when the shield is broken, that is when I will exterminate you descendants. As long as the Triforce of Power is in my hand.
Thank you, Link. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the sacred realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world, for a time. All the tragedy that has befallen in Hyrule was my doing. I was so young, I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. I dragged you into it too. Now it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. Link, give the Ocarina to me. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. When peace returns to Hyrule, it will be time for us to say goodbye. Now go home, Link. Regain your lost time. Home, where you are supposed to be. The way you are supposed to be. Thank you, Link. Goodbye.
So, that was the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Alright, let's jump right into reviewing the game. Graphics. I'm gonna say I've seen much better looking N64 titles, but this is definitely not the worst I've seen. It's decent. Decent. I mean, it's not like I can't see everything. It's just that I just feel like they could have done a little bit better in terms of the textures. 7 out of 10. Music, on the other hand, really good, especially for setting the atmosphere. When they want to do something cheerful, they do something really cheerful. If they want to do something creepy, they do something really creepy. The music just fits on so well for every area that it's intended to play in. Heck, I sometimes listen to the more calming songs while listening, or rather working on videos. Songs kind of like Epona's song, or Zelda's Lullaby. Just music like that. I don't know, it's just really nice. Even the opening credits music is like really nice and calming. I really like it. Really gets you into the move. Controls, I'm also gonna rate it 8 out of 10, just like how I rate music 8 out of 10. Sometimes the camera can be a bit finicky, Z targeting doesn't always work, but otherwise I never really had much of a problem. Story, 8 out of 10, because it's pretty straightforward unless you're studying the Zelda timeline, in which case it's important to take note that this is where the timelines is split. Not, as it turns out, not into a child timeline and an adult timeline, but also an alternate scenario, in which case the games just kind of continue where Link game overs in the final battle, which, I don't know, kind of surprising and full of controversy, but to be fair, it is trying to connect to the older Zelda titles like Link to the Past and the original Legend of Zelda, because keep in mind, they make the Zelda games without keeping in mind, without really thinking where they're going to appear in the timeline. Heck, Skyward Sword could have appeared pretty much anywhere in the timeline. It was pretty much at a last minute thing. From my understanding, from what I've heard at least, Skyward Sword deciding to make it the last game in the series was kind of like one of the last things they kind of considered. Design. Just the overall design, and by that I mean like the design of the dungeons, the design of the puzzles, the design of the mini games and the side quests. Well, I pretty much enjoyed all the dungeons, and I thought that most of the side quests were good. Interestingly, my favorite dungeon, the Water Temple, is actually something that not a lot of players liked, and yeah, I kinda understand why not a lot of people like that dungeon, but I don't know, it's just the atmosphere and just how the dungeon is laid out. I just kind of like it. The only thing that I really felt that could have been improved on is Hyrule Field itself. It's better than going with their original idea, which was to have the game set entirely within Ganon's castle. But the thing about Hyrule Field is that there's not a whole lot in there. I mean, it's very large and expansive, but a lot of that is just empty space with not really much of anything to do there. Termina of Majora's Mask did it a lot better by placing this town, like the center hub, right in the middle of the main map and having the dungeons being like in the different corners of the world. Kind of like really fills it in quite a bit more. Overall, this game ends up getting a perfect 8 out of 10. It's not exactly my favorite game, but it's definitely earned a spot in my top 10s and on the top 10 list of so many others. Definitely a game worth playing if you like puzzles, action, or pretty much anything that could be related to Zelda. It really is impressive that what was achieved for being the very first Zelda game. Man, what else is left to say? I don't know, a long time ago this was more like my first or second favorite game of all time, but you know, my opinions, and pretty much everyone's opinions, do eventually change over time. Anyways, for my next LP, I actually have no clear idea of what I want to do. I have considered, redoing EG, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not even 100% sure of what the future is gonna be like, what with the ongoing pandemic, for the time being. I'm really, I'm not really freaking out, and I don't think that I'm gonna die, but I am being careful. I'm trying to keep up to date on all the news and such, and I suggest the same for you guys. But, on that, uncanny note, I hope you enjoyed this LP as much as I enjoyed recording it. I'm glad that I went back and finished it. Anyways, whatever comes in the future, I hope you're there to join me. See you guys then.